going on? Midnight Fatality, October 28th. The Dodgers won the World Series, by the way, for all the baseball fans out there. Chris, are you a baseball fan?
I'm not a big baseball fan, but I did hear something like, isn't it Dodgers winning the World Series like a big deal?
I
Like,
think it was 30-something years since they won the World Series.
yeah, it's been a while.
Well, I'm not as big a baseball fan as I used to be anyway.
Yeah, like a lot of those sports in Australia aren't really big. The only sports that are really big in Australia is like football, Australian rules football, a little bit of rugby, and a little bit of soccer. And rugby is like gridiron without the armor.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. They beat the fuck out
Yeah.
of each other in that.
Yeah, they're just like the same sort of big dudes and everything. But instead of having armor, so when they crash into each other, there's a bit of padding there. There's nothing. There's just like, bone and muscle pounding against bone and muscle. No pun intended.
But anyway, Chris, thanks for coming through.
No worries.
Always good talking to you.
It's always good, yeah.
But the, as we, for some reason, every time I talk to him, before I start the stream, we get into drug tales.
Yeah.
I don't know how the
Ooh.
hell this ends up drug tales. Woo.
Yeah, every time we would sit there, we'd be just talking about something, and somehow the conversation would get onto, oh yeah, and this one time I did like so much blow that I was cleared out the entire warehouse or something like that. Something incredibly like, oh yeah, that was probably not the best amount. Like, yeah, all fun and games is good, but don't do that.
Oh yeah, and then I forgot this one time my uncle got caught with a brick of heroin in the trunk of his car. He's like, something to shit
Yeah.
like. But
And, as you do, these things happen.
they do happen a lot. They happen a lot,
Yeah.
especially when you grow up in the drug trap that I fucking grew up in.
Yeah.
My neighborhood was always like just a pit of drugs everywhere.
My neighborhood was pretty good. There wasn't that sort of thing around. It's just that, like, there was like the old IRC chat that was big at the time, which is like it's like a text-based chat room, but there's like hundreds of people, and like when you get the chat on a live stream and they've got like 1,000 people watching and how it's total chaos.
Yeah.
IRC was essentially that, but there were hundreds of different chat rooms, and they were all like that. There was just absolute chaos, and every now and again, you end up finding a group of people that you're chatting with, and you go and we're meeting up people that you'd meet online was a thing you did back then because we weren't smart, and yeah, you'd end up finding that hey, there's these people out there who are into the chat stuff on the internet and into computers and stuff that are also like complete and utter drug nuts who are that either know people who you'll get in contact with who do everything or themselves do everything. And then you become a young teen who's interested in experimenting with substances, and one thing leads to another. And then there was the whole time after that where I was essentially running a business called Tribal Earth, which was above board and on the table were all these different sort of herbs that would have different effects. Like you can mix Damiana and horny goatweed, and it's like a potent aphrodisiac. Or something to help with blood pressure or something like that. And then under the table we had magic mushrooms, DMT, whatever natural psychedelic or potent extract we could get our hands on.
I've only done mushrooms once.
Yeah.
I've done acid. I've done acid.
Where were you when you were doing them?
At my girlfriend at the time's house.
So like in the suburbs and stuff.
No.
Hey, DBS.
What's up, DBS? Yeah,
Sorry?
I was talking about DBS, Death by Saber. Then I was talking about the Dodgers winning the World Series.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Wasn't that like in some... I'm sure there's some movie where they were talking about the future, and it's like, just before the fall of mankind, Dodgers win the World Series. It was one of the last newspapers or something.
What was? I'm trying to remember. Because honestly, I only liked the first Back to the Future movie. I thought the other two was stupid.
Yeah. I can't remember. There could have been something in it. Justin Turner tested positive for the vid.
I don't know
Who's Justin Turner? Justin Turner. Who is he? Her? Them? They? Baseball player.
Oh, okay. You got his results during the game.
Justin Turner, Los Angeles Dodgers.
You got his results during the game.
He's pulled from World Series clinch due to test positive.
Holy shit.
Well, it's good that he's got a positive attitude towards things. That was a really dumb joke.
No, I'm talking about, imagine like you're playing in the Super Bowl. The doctor comes to you in the middle of middle of the game. It's like,
was it on like second or third or something like that, bases are loaded, the crowd is hushed as someone steps up to the plate, and then there's a doctor in a white lab coat comes running out onto the field towards you. You're like, what the fuck's going on? He comes up and starts speaking to you, and then leads you off the field.
You might want to put this on. He gets you a mask. We don't want to, we'll keep you in the game, but we don't want to take any risks.
Yeah. I probably should have mentioned this before we went live, but I may have to go quiet for a second as I have a delivery coming this afternoon, but I don't know when.
No problem.
It could be this afternoon being 1 o'clock. It could be this afternoon being 4 o'clock.
But
DBS took a picture with just.
Oh man!
Got his autograph and everything. Nice.
Did you get tested?
That'll be worth a lot if he succumbs.
Did you get tested?
It was a few years back.
Oh,
so
no,
I don't think
wait, DBS.
People were thinking.
DBS, I can't get into that account anymore. You don't have to do that to McSplitter. You don't have to do that there. I can't get into that account anymore.
He's Captain Blinky now.
Yeah.
Good old Blinky.
But so what? All right. Like I was talking about the drugs, right? You said you had a drug. You had a drug tail that you wanted.
We were talking about. I think you were talking about having. I think you were talking about having mixed edibles with chocolate, and I mentioned that the chocolate can have can make some things more potent because it can stop the cocoa has a reaction. And then I went from there to explaining how I found out about that was when I was given these chocolates that I'm not sure the explanation is accurate, but as far as we could work out, what you have in America as a Hershey's bar with like little squares connected together into one big bar. If you were to take two of the squares connected together, that was considered to be 2 doses. Break it in half and have one. And the guy, sometimes when he gives stuff to us, he says it's potent, and it is potent. Sometimes it's like he's on too much stuff, so when he takes it, he doesn't realize how potent it is. And yeah, so we get this stuff, and I've got 4 doses, 2 packets, so 2 because they're wrapped up in a 2-dose pack. So I've got the 2 things that are done, and I check that into my friend's freezer at his place. We've also got 2.5 tabs of very potent LSD that he had only, I think, a few days earlier. He had 2 tabs and was fucked up like beyond all recognition. He is like, yeah, it was out of his mind, off his head. So I come over and I'm going to have the acid, which I think we could only end up finding 1 or 2 of the tabs. But I take the acid and he takes the magic mushrooms. But the mushrooms usually will kick in a bit faster than the LSD will. So I take the LSD and he's sort of taking his time taking they're taking these mushrooms. But eventually he opens up the mushroom packet, open up the chocolates, and eats the entire packet of the 2 chocolates stuck together. He's sitting opposite me on the couch at this stage, and I sort of look across to him because I haven't kicked in yet. I'm just sitting there like nothing, and then see him take that, and he makes this sound, something like "mrrr," as he just falls over sideways.
I've heard that noise from people before.
Yeah, it's like
I know the exact fucking. I know the exact fucking thing you're saying. I've heard that.
it's like they've gone to speak and their mouth is just opened up and sound has come out.
They turn into a manatee.
Yeah, it's
walrus.
like,
Yes.
it's like, yeah, some sort of.
It sounds like someone stepping on their stomach and like turning them into a
squeeze toy.
Yeah.
a sick squeeze toy. But he makes that noise and falls over sideways, and like because he's sitting on the couch, so it's okay. But I'm thinking, there's no way, because this is like he's had enough time. He puts the chocolate in his mouth. Like, can you imagine if you took 2 average pieces of chocolate, put it in your mouth, and the time it takes you to clear the chocolate out of your mouth and go, and then it hits you and you collapse. And there's no way that the mushrooms do not hit you that fast. There is no way it hit him that fast. So I'm sitting there telling him to like stop like fucking around. That's obviously not that strong. I'm not dumb enough to fall for this. Come on. And he's like, no, it's too much. It's too much. And I'm like, I just do not believe him at all. And he's like, take it and you'll find out. And I'm like, well, I've just had acid. I'm not going to take the mushrooms. And then I sit down and he is off. He is lying on the couch. He's trying to sit up every now and again, but just ends up laying back down on the couch. I'm sitting on a beanbag opposite him with like the little coffee table in the middle. And I'm sitting there thinking like, this sucks. I've just had a whole bunch of acid that should have kicked my ass and nothing has happened. It's been like at least an hour and a half, maybe more, and nothing's happened. I think I may as well just go and have the chocolate. So at least I get to have some sort of a trip out for this session. So I go and I grab the chocolates and I sit down, open the chocolates up and like chew them up and swallow. And about the time it takes for me to like eat the chocolates and clear the taste out of my mouth, at the same time as the mushrooms kick in, so does the acid.
Nice.
And it's fucked up because it's hot and I'm wearing jeans, so I'm sweating a lot. And the guy opposite me, is on the couch, and I can have this memory of being like semi-conscious, eyes closed in some other reality, then sort of coming back to consciousness and opening up my eyes, looking across the room and seeing him with his eyes closed, laying on the couch, and I couldn't tell if he was having a convulsion or if he was making out with some sort of invisible thing. Because like the look at his face and the way he was moving and rolling around, it looked like he could have had his arms around something that wasn't there and kissing it. Although I was a bit messed up and he was rattling around and his arms up like that, he could be sort of contorted and actually convulsing. But there's no way for me to do anything about it because, oh, here comes unconsciousness again. Here comes the darkness, and we go back in. There's like a Beavis and Butthead poster above him, and it's like you know how sometimes when you roll up a poster and then you roll it flat and you stick it against the wall, it doesn't sit flat and there's like little like raised up sections in there,
Yeah, the corners.
or the corners, or in the middle, or like there'll be like
Yeah,
like there'll be parts that aren't quite flat.
yeah,
I part of my mind was telling me that I could see through the parts that weren't flat, and the other part of my mind was telling me that no, it's covered in plastic, and it's the reflection of the light in the middle of the room on the plastic is causing glare. But I couldn't work out what was going on. At the same time, some part of my brain is trying to work out whether or not I'm tripping on LSD or if I'm tripping on mushrooms, and can't work out which one is which because they're two completely different experiences.
yeah.
Like
Mushroom,
I would
a lot more
mushroom.
chill than acid. Acid is
They
not.
can be mushrooms. I think it's more of like a earthy, organic, um, like trip like that. Whereas
Acid
LSD,
is, yeah, acid is like
it's acid is acid. It's burning
I,
you into
I,
a hallucinative state.
I, oh Jesus Christ! This fucking one time I took acid. I was playing basketball for like 4 hours straight because we
Yeah.
used to hang out in the park down the block and play basketball all day long. And we used to even play at night, but and the cops would have to come kick us out if they saw us playing basketball.
You see, a lot of the problem with the I don't know about it in America, but in
Oh,
Australia, a lot of
sorry, wait, sorry. Stony Wine,
Hail Stony
Death by Saber, of
and
course, Death by
DBS and the
Saber,
Sentinel.
and Sentinel.
Yeah. I was going to say the problem was that they were mixing a lot of other things into the LSD. Like a lot of the time, we were getting LSD that had MDMA mixed into it because they wanted to make it a little bit make it a little bit something else, a little bit better, or they had some sort of amphetamine or something mixed into it. But then there was nothing better than the pure clean high.
I don't know the acid. I wish I would have took mushrooms the entire time I was taking acid because acid was not. Oh, it was a phenomenal experience.
I don't know. I found that acid was interesting and not my preference. I would actually prefer. I want to make sure I get the right word because I often mix this word up with another word. Mescaline.
Um, that was a bit before my time as a drug taking teenager. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, that kind of died out a bit when when I was a teenager, trying to find whatever the drug of the week was.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me share something for DBS here.
Yeah,
Uh,
I told him that account I can't get into.
have a look at this. This is the
COVID
DBS,
guy, this
the
COVID
COVID
guy.
DBS. Yeah, yeah. He's got a few pictures here. You got that one.
Oh, okay, he got back.
Certificate of authenticity. Nice.
That's the guy that during the game he got the news that he during the game he got the news that he was positive for that.
That dude, I think, at the top there.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, congrats on your Dodgers. What's up, Pixels? How you
Hey,
doing?
Pixels. Yeah. But with that,
Anyone want to come in? There you go.
mixing, mixing and matching that I was doing with the mushrooms and LSD, that was at one of the points where I was sort of like coming and going from consciousness. At one point, it sort of goes all black, and I'm sort of floating through this darkness. And have you ever seen the TV series Sliders?
Yeah,
You know,
Cherry O'Connell, right?
yeah, like in the intro, they had all those like he explains that there's different parallel Earths, and they show you all the little planets of the Earths going off in a spiral.
Yeah.
Well, essentially, I saw something that looked like that, and it was like small and off in the distance. So I was able to sort of like will myself to move closer to it and zoom over to it. And as I did, I noticed that it was this ongoing spiral that went off in both directions of these, and they look like planets or like semi-translucent spheres. And that I could sort of float up to one of the spheres and stick my head inside it. And when I did that, I like there would be all this information about a person and like their whole life story, and like their thoughts, their feelings, their beliefs, their secrets, and all that sort of stuff. And then I'd pull my head out of it. And when I pull my head out of it, I could still remember some of the stuff, but it would slowly fade. And then I'd go across to another one and I could stick my head inside that one. And I would then have all the knowledge about that person.
Okay.
It was crazy.
Sounds a bit crazy.
Yeah. But I, as a, one point, I was staring at the TV, and the TV was turned off, and sorry, the TV was turned on. It was just static, and I could see in the static this sort of like a Celtic rune, and I then realized that the not only was there the Celtic rune on the screen made out of static, but there were like these everything was made out of these like blue three-dimensional floating fuzzy runes. And like the chair would be made up of all these different runes that are floating around, and they're big and thick and fuzzy. And that sometimes they would exchange with like the floor or with like a table or something.
Okay, do you have drug flashbacks? Is this what this is? Is this?
No, that was like one of the points in the dream, in the dream, in the
I
experience.
did. When I took acid, I used to have flashbacks like weeks after I had taken acid certain times. I did have flashbacks in the middle of just out of nowhere. I did have that happen to me.
No, I
But
didn't have that.
not since I've touched acid has that happened to me.
So it happened with you with mushrooms, but didn't happen with acid.
No, it happened to me with acid. Didn't happen to
Okay.
me with mushroom.
Yeah. No, I
All
didn't
right.
find mushrooms that got flashbacks,
Okay.
really.
First time I took acid, I was probably 15, 16 years old. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, First time I took mushrooms, was, and first and only time I took mushrooms, by the way, was, oh shit, was it 2016 or 2017? So I was never really had the opportunity to take mushrooms as much as it was to take acid. We couldn't find too many mushroom guys around here. We knew plenty
Yeah.
of acid guys around here, but not a lot of
In the
mushrooms.
90s, mushrooms in Australia were pretty easy to get. There
Uh,
was like you
Damn,
basically winter
I wish
hits.
I lived on Australia at that time.
When winter hits, you go down to the pine plantations and you find the mushrooms. I'm not going to say on air how you identified them because that's not necessary. But and probably going to get you in so much trouble, it's not worth it.
Whatever. I don't give a
Um,
shit. Say what you guys say. Whatever.
but where you'd go, you'd find them, and like you'd fill up a garbage bag, or you'd know somebody who'd gone and filled up a garbage bag full, and you go around to their place, and they're always 24/7 on mushrooms, and you're like, they'll like put them in honey and preserve them in honey, and you can buy like jars of honey off them. It's like the honey is going blue from the stuff inside the mushrooms.
So how am I gonna get banned with you telling me that?
No, I could have gone into far more detail.
Okay. Well, it's not like you're doing instructional videos on YouTube about it.
Well, no, I was just saying that's the level we could go to instructional video. But then it can't really do it that much anymore because a lot of that stuff's been stamped out and they go and poison the areas these days so that you can't go and pick the mushrooms that grow there. So yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, it used to be
Like,
so
oh
easy
man,
that
you just ruined Sunday with my kids.
it used to be as easy as like there was a medieval carnival down in the country, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours drive from the city. So I would, whenever that was the annual festival, so I'd go out there every year. And one year I go out there, I haven't organised anything because I forgot about it and it was all last minute. So I haven't booked anywhere to stay. I plan to just go sleep in my car, and I probably won't stay for the whole weekend. I'll probably just stay for like a day and then stay overnight, stay for the next day, and then go back that afternoon. But so I get down there, great time, and there's this like band that's playing and stuff, and they're like the band that's like a funk band that is all found stuff instruments and stuff like that, and with a few actual real instruments and real musicians mixed in. And they're playing that night at the town hall. I go into the town hall and hanging out around there. There's this fire outside in a like a barrel with a fire in it, and I'm standing around out there. And there's this one local guy who's like way he's looking at me. I feel like he's got a problem. This shit's about to go down. He's basically probably going to be one of those situations where the locals don't like the city slickers coming down and taking advantage of parties in the country. And he's probably going to have a problem. And he gets closer to me, closer to me, closer to me. And then he really fast, he brings his hand like a closed fist up towards my face. And I think like I have enough time to sort of think, oh, this is it. Like he's going to swing on me. And he opens his hand up and he's got a handful of magic mushrooms. And he goes, "Do you want some mushrooms, man?"
Hell,
Hey,
What's up?
DBS.
What's up, DBS? How you doing?
I'm walking around. I'm here in Las Vegas.
You're in Las Vegas after the Dodgers won the World Series. Why are you
Yeah,
in Las Vegas at that time?
it's bad timing. I'm here on vacation and staying at a resort called Tahiti Village, the biggest lazy river in Vegas. And I was just me and my son were Vegas.
What's up?
Is this me or him that's cutting out?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm getting
can you guys
cutouts
see?
as well. But
I'm gonna turn off my Wi-Fi. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
I can hear
yeah.
you now.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my phone around and see if you could see Mandalay Bay, Vegas.
Yeah, Mandalay Bay.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm at a place called Tahiti Village.
What are you doing out there? You just chilling?
Swimming
Vacation?
vacation. They got pools. They got a lazy river. Yeah.
Nice.
Right now, I'm walking towards my car. I'll show you the cars.
Well, we were talking about more drug stuff. Every time I talk to TWTG contents,
Yeah, it always goes that way, doesn't it?
all right, DBS, you live in LA. You gotta have some good drug stories, even if it doesn't involve you personally. Like, because I have plenty of good drug stories that don't even involve me. Like, it's just people I know. Like, I know someone whose house was raided, and his mom had to flush the cocaine down the toilet, like Goodfellas style.
hmm Um, like I don't drink, but yeah, I've seen some stuff go down. You know, I could tell you about an ex-girlfriend who tried to put. I didn't even know, but she wanted to put coke on my peen in my
Oh,
pee
Jesus
pee
Christ.
pee pee hole in my in my dick hole. She wanted to put cocaine, and I was like, I think I was 19 or 20 years old, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? What is that? You know? And she said, oh, trust me, it's good. It'll make it fatter, like it'll make it swell up. And
Did
I was
it?
like, well, no, I don't. I stopped her. I'm like, I don't want that shit.
You don't want your dong addicted to coke.
Your dick
Right,
is gonna have a. Here, you don't want your dick to have a coke problem. You don't want your dick snorting
right.
coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want it to
Like
drown
you
in
see
a
what
pool.
happens to
Like,
those chicks when they get a coke problem.
yeah, I don't want my dick to drown in a pool like Belushi.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Like you know the crack
You
fiend
know,
chicks, they're all like skinny and bony. You don't want that to happen to your junk.
uh,
it could also graduate to harder substances.
yeah, I don't want my
Yeah.
dick to drown in the bathtub like Whitney Houston.
You don't want your dick like tying itself off with a belt and shooting itself up with heroin, right?
Yeah,
It's like, yeah.
Sorry. That's just a funny idea, I think, there. The tying itself off.
yeah. And then it can't use the main vein anymore, so it has to shoot up in the nuts
Yeah.
vein, the balls. So I was like, no.
That's gonna shoot up in the corner of its eye.
I was yeah, I was
Can't find
very
the vein, it's
firm.
gonna shoot up in
Well,
the corner of its eye.
eventually you move down to the taint. There you go. Yeah.
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 So I was very firm. I was like, no. And yeah,
Yeah,
didn't do
very
that.
firm and I was like, no.
Yeah. She still let me, do her, but after that it wasn't the same anymore. Like, I don't like this girl anymore.
Trying to
Bit
get
too
my dick
freaky for you,
addicted.
hey?
Trying to get my dick addicted to coke. Come on.
Yeah. And I don't even drink. I've never been drunk in my life. I don't even know what that feels like. Like I've never drank at all.
Not even as
You're
a
missing
stupid
out.
ass teenager. It's like,
No, not even. No, I was a designated driver as a teenager,
okay.
and I would protect my friends. Everybody was alcoholic and smoking weed and everything, but I was just a guy that would protect them and
Yeah.
give them a ride and make sure they got home safe.
See, all my friends were cokeheads.
Hmm
I was a pot smoker and a beer drinker, and all my friends were cokeheads, and they would get yak the fuck out. And I would always be the guy that they'd try to talk to, whatever house I'd go to. Like they'd all be fucking skied out of their minds by the time I got there.
Yeah.
And they all want to talk to me at the same time because I'm the only one there that's not fucking. Wow, my friend, he used to look at me while I'm
Oh, messed
watching
up.
the TV.
Yeah.
It's like, no, watch the TV. Don't look at me while I watch the TV.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That's a little bit over the top.
Out. Let's see. Out here, I'm sitting in my car, so I took my mask off. But when the rules, the ground rules of the place is like everywhere you got to wear a mask. The only place you could
In a
take off your
car by
mask.
yourself, though, that's fucking
I'm in
stupid.
my car.
Yeah, and you're by yourself. You shouldn't have to wear a mask.
No, I took it off.
I know. I'm saying if that's the rule. Oh, it dropped.
No, dropped out. But yeah,
If
some of
that's
the
a-
mask stuff is
If that's
ridiculous.
the rule, that's ridiculous. If you have to be in a car by yourself and wear that shit, that's. In fact, when I'm
I've
walking
worked in
down the
cleaning,
street and I see
and in a
people
lot of
doing
that,
that, you ever see people doing that? Do you do that?
do what?
Do you drive with a mask on by yourself?
I don't have a vehicle at this stage.
Yeah, I don't either.
And if I
but
did, I would not be wearing a
yes,
mask.
exactly. I don't drive either, but if I did it, he's back.
If
Yeah, I
I
hit the
was
wrong.
required to wear a mask to go into a place, I would either ignore them or go to another place.
Yeah.
Like there has been a lot of people that I've seen, like you see the old blokes who are in the risk category, and everyone's supposed to line up, and they only let so many people into the shop, and he just walks straight past the line, straight past the people who are supposed to be like you're stopping like security and everything, and walk straight into the place, and then everyone's yelling, "Stop! Stop!" Right? He just doesn't even, like, as if there's nothing going on. He just keeps going. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, yep, that guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Stony One Kenobi. I'm live from Vegas, but I'm not in a casino. I'm waiting for my wife to get ready. We're supposed to go to casino. There's a grand opening of a casino, Circa, in downtown Vegas. It's supposed to open at midnight. I'm trying to, like, I'm gonna go over there. I might try to, whoever's there live, I might try to broadcast live, go live inside there. Or if you're still,
See how long you can get away with it.
yeah,
Whoever's there, like who? Like fucking Wayne Newton or somebody?
and like, no. I'm saying, like, if any one of you guys are doing your
Oh,
stream, could jump in, you
oh,
know,
oh.
or maybe do it
Yeah.
myself, but I'm not sure. I
Fair
haven't done it. I haven't done StreamYards from my phone, so I don't know how that would work out. Like
I thought
I do it on my phone, like to jump in with other people, but
I thought
me,
you were doing
Yeah.
a Dodgers won the World Series live stream.
yeah, I would if I was home with my laptop and my mic. But yeah. And right now it's good. It's crazy in LA. I'm looking at videos, Instagram of people that I know in LA. They're out in the street and they're waving flags. They're blocking traffic. They're doing a lot of crazy shit right now. They're lighting fireworks.
Or probably lighting fires in general,
No.
right?
They're being assholes. And people are like, my friends over there in LA. They're like, "Hey, where you at? We're gonna go over here." Like, nah, I'm not even in LA. I'm in Vegas. Oh, I didn't know you were in Vegas. Yeah. And even my mother called me. She said, "Hey, the Dodgers won. Be safe because they're lighting fireworks out here and people are going crazy." I said, "I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I'm in Vegas. I'm nowhere near." And she's like, "Oh, why?" She's like, "How come you didn't
Yeah.
tell me?" Well, I don't know. I'm an
Well,
adult.
fireworks is better than lighting cop cars on fire. And
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're like, yeah, we won the
yeah.
championship.
Cops are ready too.
burning people's houses and shops to the ground.
No, I'm saying like there's plenty
Hey
of
man, it's the language of the unheard.
how many places where they won a world championship, whatever sport, they're like, we're gonna overturn cop cars and wave a Michael Jordan jersey in the street. Like
I saw
They
video
did
too. The cops are already ready. They're not. That's not going to happen today with people trying to overturn cop cars because the cops are already ready. They got their riot gear, and anybody starts any shit, they're ready to jump to get on them.
Are you sure about that though?
So writing for rights you already have is totally okay, but writing for was it over the baseball
In
not
the
okay.
in the past, when the Lakers won or Dodgers won, a cop car would get overturned, but they weren't expecting that. But now they know. They're ready.
Well,
They're on full alert. So
just
that's
just
not
a
gonna.
few years ago, the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and what did Philly fans do? They destroyed the city. That's what they did in response to fucking the Eagles winning the Super Bowl. They destroyed the city because the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, people go crazy with their team winning. I'm
but
happy for the Dodgers.
what good? All right, your team won. What good does destroying the city do?
It does no good. I'll go. I like to go out there waving a flag and stuff, but I
Yeah,
don't want to.
yeah. I'm not gonna burn a cop car. I'm not gonna throw
Oh, that.
Molotovs at people. It's like, 'cause what kind of celebration is that?
Yeah, some
It's a little
knuckleheads.
bit over the top, yeah.
Some knuckleheads get that bright idea. Oh, hey, let's burn a cop car. Let's turn it over. Uh, there's so many cameras around, you can't get away with it. They'll catch you eventually. And it's not in my
Yeah.
nature for me to do that either. I'm a lover, so
Well, see,
Yeah,
what you
I'm not.
do is
I'm
you
not the
get everybody.
Molotov type. I'm not the type to throw a Molotov or two. I'm not.
mhm.
Well, the way you get away with it is you get everybody to dress in black bloc, so that when you get seen on camera, there's like 20 or 30 other people dressed identically,
Yeah.
and that way they can't. It makes it harder for them to pin it directly on you.
Yeah, everybody could put on the scream mask. 30 people with the scream mask. Or the
Yeah.
V for Vendetta mask.
Or a
What was it?
leather face mask.
Uh-huh. Jason mask.
Eventually they're gonna make us all walk around looking like Mortal Kombat characters.
Mhm.
Hey man, I wouldn't mind being built like a Mortal Kombat character.
Well, I'm saying that's kind of why I picked the Mortal Kombat thumbnails, because I went to a Mortal Kombat wake a couple weeks ago. It's like I couldn't recognize anybody. No, we all look like a bunch of fucking ninjas. Like
Ninja Wake. That's
Yeah.
I never. This was a whole totally new experience. It wasn't fun.
no,
Do
it
I
doesn't sound like.
recognize this person? Who the fuck is this person?
Yeah.
Pointing around the room. Ninja, ninja, ninja. Oh, okay. Which ninjas do I know here?
And when the cleanup comes at the end, it's Ninja Vanish.
Who'd you dress up as?
Uh, Me? What was my ninja character? I dressed up as Shokasugi from the second. What was it? Enter the Ninja.
Oh, that's cool. In Mortal Kombat, I would have liked to have been like Scorpion or um or
I
even
was like,
Reptile.
Reptile best.
Yeah,
Sub
Reptile.
Zero. Sub Zero was the cheese character. Everyone always went to Sub Zero, Sub Zero, Sub Zero. It was so cheesy.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
think of people.
It was the same thing with Street Fighter with Ken or Ryu. Always the same cheese. I always like to use different people. Fuck
I
that
would
shit.
use on Street Fighter. I would use Bison.
I would too.
Bison wasn't bad.
Rather
What
than
was
Ken or Ryu.
the guy that did the fire breathing? If you could pull off
Oh,
his abilities,
Dawson. Dawson.
yeah, I liked him. If you could pull off his abilities,
Yeah, it's kind of hard. I got
yeah, I
good with
found it.
Bison. I would beat my friends, and I'd beat them so bad they throw the controller. And they're like, "Hey, throw them my fucking controller or break that shit." Yeah, I'm walking around in the parking lot.
So just walking around in a parking lot by yourself, you have to wear a mask.
Yeah, Nevada state law. You're outside, you got to wear a mask. And then I'm on the
Damn.
premises.
I'm
I'm
due. My state is due for that. Holy shit, my state is due for that.
I make sure I better chirp my car, make sure it's locked. Yeah, it's locked. I said, well, I'm gonna walk towards the sign of the place where I'm at, the front entrance.
How's this working?
So this is a really nice place. This is my first time staying here. It's pretty nice. Rooms. The room has a kitchen.
You go to
Nice.
Vegas a lot?
Yeah. But I've never stayed at this place. This is the first time I stayed here. I usually go Circus or Excalibur. Excalibur is nice too. Um,
What do you do when you go there? You just get a hotel. You gamble. You just
I go see the sights too, because there's like
shit.
you heard of the Bellagio fountains?
Yes.
I like to check that out. That shit feels crazy because it's right in your face and you feel the ground shake with the pressure of the water shooting up. And then there's
Cool.
an active, they have a volcano show at the Mirage, and that's pretty neat. Okay, let's see if you can see see if you guys can see the sign.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Nice.
I'm wondering when security's gonna come out. Be like, sir, what are you doing, sir?
Why would they do that?
I don't know. They got cameras everywhere, but they see a suspicious looking male walking around.
Yeah, but you're a tourist.
At least I got America. I got America in my beanie. Got the flag.
But you're a tourist, though.
Yeah.
Would they really throw out people with nightsticks to take down a tourist just for snapping shots of a sign? Are they that hardcore out there with the police?
That's serious, eh?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes they are. Sometimes they're cool. Just depends on the person. Depends on how bitter and disgruntled the security person is.
Oh, all right. Yeah, that's true. Because
Yeah.
I could say I dealt with some cops like that.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I'm Tower 1.
Tower 1.
That's
Place
where
to be, hey?
Yeah, they got 5 towers. I'm staying at Tower 1. God damn, there's a whole bunch of people. I'm gonna show you. There's a crowd. It's
What?
crazy.
For what? Why
There's
are
a
they
crowd of people. I don't know. I'm gonna wait till they disappear.
Is there a protest going on?
No, they're all waiting to get in their room, I guess. Oh yeah, here. Here's another sign. You see what it says?
Yeah, I see what it says.
Hey guys.
I'm not there. I'm here, so
It's like that's.
I'm continuing to smoke.
It reminds me.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that song. Signs everywhere. Sign. Yeah.
Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the sign?
So is Testify in the there as well, is he?
He lives in Vegas.
He lives in Vegas.
Yeah.
So you're going to be
But
hunting him down while you're there?
I've told him that I'll be in Vegas, but he stayed quiet. Every time I brought it up to him several times, and he doesn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he doesn't say. He doesn't say, "Oh, well, hey, well, when you come out here, hit me up." He didn't say anything like that. So yeah, I don't think he wants to meet up.
Oh,
Oh, poor baby.
But then somebody told me that he doesn't want to show his face. That he works for the government and he don't want to show his face. So like whatever. I work for the government too. Here I am. Give a fuck?
Yeah. No fucks given.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big old place. One of the pools they have at like the beach, where it's like sand. There's even sand in the pool. It's weird. Well, I'm next to the airport. Also, you hear the planes taking off.
is that where you came in or you drove?
I drove from LA.
Yeah, it's not far, right? LA
Yeah,
to.
it's only 4 hours, 4.5 hours. It took me 5 because I stopped twice to put gas and to get food, to go pee breaks. you know.
Uh,
Uh, I'll show you a picture of my car.
I
Can you
wanted to
guys
do a
see?
short film about a guy going on a road trip, and he gets out to go for a piss, and then when he turns around to go back, there's nothing but bushland all around him.
Uh, can you guys see my car? Yes, no?
Yeah.
All right. There, locked. I'm
Safe.
gonna go back.
Are you gonna
I'm gonna
walk
go,
around the parking lot some more?
no, I'm good. I'm gonna go back in the house because my phone says it's at 15% charge. Like fuck.
No
This
doubt, right?
Yeah,
StreamYard drains the phone
It
fast.
murders,
yeah.
it murders phones.
Uh, and it was cool hanging out with you guys. I'm
Yeah,
gonna charge my
Yeah.
phone, and
cool you coming through, man.
if you guys are still on, I'll jump back in. I'm gonna charge my phone. All
But
right, then, fellas.
is there a better way than StreamYards? If
I wish there was.
if anyone knows a better way than StreamYards,
Yeah.
we definitely need a better way than StreamYards.
What's it? OBS is supposed to be pretty good, but I found
gonna-
it too hard to use.
All right, check this out, fellas. I'm gonna use my access card to get in.
Are you
Yeah,
gonna come
buddy.
in? Are you going in there and scaring your wife, being like I'm live streaming right now?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like, guess what? I'm live streaming right
All
now.
right. Safe. It's safe. The news is on. That's Justin Turner. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up. During the game. During
Yeah,
the game.
Yeah, during the game. Hey. Lord. Home run.
All right. Well, you said you're a Rams fan, right?
Yeah.
All right. Even though I live in New York, I'm a Chargers fan because Junior Seau was my favorite player. So I
yeah,
stuck with the team.
that's old school, man. Junior Seas. Yeah.
And what happened with them this season was Tyrod Taylor. They punctured his lung, giving him a cortisone shot in pregame warmups, and the Chargers had to throw their rookie quarterback in there.
Mm.
Justin Herbert. They had to throw that guy in there, and he was losing a bunch of games, but he was putting up a bunch of fucking stats. But how are the Rams, by
Yeah.
the way? Are the
They're
Rams
they're
doing
they're pretty good. They got I yeah, they're doing good. They're winning a lot. They did lose against the 49ers. But they're up pretty good with their um I don't know exactly what, but I know they've been winning more than losing. They only lost one, I think, game so far. So they're doing pretty good.
No, I think they lost two. They lost to the Bills and the Niners. The Rams.
Yeah. All right, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah, man.
Talk to you guys
All right,
later.
dude.
Thanks for coming through, man. Congrats on the
Thanks for
Dodgers
chatting.
win. Later, man. Now I'm probably not going to run this much longer anyway. Probably run it to an hour.
How far in are we now? Nearly the hour. Nearly there.
Yep.
Almost finished.
But
These poor people can be let go free from this.
horrific event.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a fatality. 'Cause my live streams, they
Yeah,
just
those streams aren't that bad.
they just die over and over again.
Hey, you've been doing pretty good. You got a few good live streams going, and the last Let's What You Did worked out okay.
All right, but not everyone always wants to come through for a watch party.
True, but then that's the nature of the internet and people. With all the different things I've tried to do, one thing I've learned is you really don't want to rely on people if you can avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's excellent point right there. Won't argue that one.
Yeah, and there's so many projects that I've done, I was trying to do that have, gone nowhere. And it's all because I was trying to get help from other people or trying to work with other people or collaborate. I know a guy who they did an entire the idea was to do like black and white photos, but each photo is like a panel for a like a comic book, so like a photographic comic book. And they had all the photos done, they had all the story written out and everything. And the guy who had all the footage and everything just basically decided that, oh yeah, I couldn't do it anymore. Uninterested. Walk away. Take everything with me. Take my bat and ball and go home.
Well, it happens that way. You know why it happens that way? I'm living proof of why it happens that way. I was supposed to do two separate podcasts with two separate friends.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I think it was 2018. 2018. Beginning of 2018, two separate friends had, talked to me about we're going to do podcasts. Okay. It was the beginning of 2018. By summertime, I realized, okay, this isn't happening. I'm going to start my own YouTube channel and do whatever the hell I want with it.
Yeah, that's
So
essentially what you end up having to do.
is where I ended up at this point. That's where I ended up at this point.
Yeah. Well, essentially, I did the same sort of thing myself. Is that um, every time I wanted to do something, the other people who I was involved with, um, there was a reason why they can't, or there was
Oh yeah.
people tend to be more talk than they are actually anything else.
I mean, sometimes things do happen. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes things
Yeah,
do.
but how many times do things
Well,
happen in a row
that's
before
true
you go,
because
right, fuck
there's
everybody?
there's been both instances. Yes, yes, I know exactly what you did. There's been both instances where someone was like over and over again, cancel night of, cancel night of. Yes.
Yeah. And you go, oh, something serious has come up. This, that, something serious. Like, well, something serious comes up every single time. So maybe you should just say, oh, you know what? I've got serious shit going on. I can't do it.
Or just say no in the beginning.
Yeah. You
Just
know
say
that you're not going to be able to do it
yeah,
because shit's happening in your life.
exactly. Just say like nah, it's all right. Like, am I wrong for thinking that? Not at all.
I understand. Like, I try to be as like try to work with people and work with their circumstances as much as possible. And this medium we're going through is free, and um, we're not in a situation where we can be paying people to do it. So because of those factors, I essentially look at it and go, well, like, yeah, there's nothing that can be done. If people turn up, they turn up. If they don't, they don't. It's not a paid gig, so there's no real obligation to them to be there.
I don't think
However, if it
that.
was a paid gig, then a number of people,
Yeah,
I would just be like,
exactly.
I'm not working. Like, you're fired. That's it.
Yeah,
You didn't turn up to work. You are fired.
I
But
know.
then this is not like that.
No, it's not that way. It's not that way. It's if you want to show up, show up. It's like you have no fucking obligation to show up. It's like if I ask you to show up, yeah, you show up.
Yeah.
No,
If you want to show up, show up. If you don't want to show up, well, hey, the way
exactly.
it goes.
But if you can't make it, you can't make it. I'm not a fucking
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah. You can't make it. It's just the way it goes. I understand. How many times I've been in situations where I can't make it for whatever reason.
Don't matter. It's fine.
And so yeah, I try to be there when I can be there, and I can't, I can't. And I think that the those who try to be there when they can't, and like those who like you really seem to want to put in the effort to be there, those people when they can't be there, it's sort of like, oh yeah, okay,
Well,
that it happens. But
for,
those who just constantly can't be there, you're just like, no, why am I wasting my time?
I already ran. I already. This is an hour and three. I was already. Jesus Christ! I didn't think it was even going to run this long.
Yeah. I do that so many times that I think that I'm probably just going to go on and I'll say a few things and it'll run for 10, 15 minutes or as long as I sit there and run out of things to say, and then it'll all be over. And then I find that I go for fucking ages. Like, oh, there goes an hour, quick and easy.
Well, that also happens too. A lot of different things happen.
Yeah.
When you do these crazy ass live streams, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know
Well,
what's gonna
speaking of doing crazy ass live streams, we should be doing on my channel a crazy ass live stream called We Drink and We Know Things. And I think I've just finished the new intro.
and we'll check it out. There
You
you
can
go.
have a look. Can we hear it? You can do some more volume.
My volume's up all the way.
Can you hear it?
My speaker's at 100. Yeah.
That's good, as long as you can hear it. Sound coming through. Yeah. That's it. Just a short, simple. Because you don't want like so people who have like 40-minute intros. Or like you go like I know I used to go and watch
Oh
the
god,
live stream.
I can't stand those. Like even like I have a 5 minute intro. If you're gonna do an
Yeah.
intro, like actually, you know what? Fuck that. Under 5 minutes. Keep that shit
Well,
under 5 minutes.
this is
Oh,
40 seconds.
yeah, that's fine. That is just fine.
And it's just okay, 40 seconds. Even that feels a little bit on the long side. Just a touch.
Not compared to some
Okay, yeah.
other ones. No, nowhere near compared to some other ones.
Yeah. But then what was it? I was watching Louder with Crowder live stream, the morning mug club. And yeah, I was sitting there. I don't know if they still do it, but it used to be there's like starting soon. And you'd sit there for starting soon and like 20 minutes would go by. And then there'd be like a 15-minute intro video and skit. It's like, that's like, yeah, like an hour before the show starts. Like yeah, you start streaming an hour before the show starts.
Do you know the comedian Nick DiPaolo?
Name sounds familiar, but not off the top of my head.
You should watch his YouTube stuff. I think you'd like his YouTube stuff.
He's got some good YouTube stuff, has he?
Yeah. Well, he's a stand-up comedian who's kind of blackballed from being in Hollywood and any sort of movies or TV shows.
Okay, so he kind of looks like what's his name from the game? It's Michael Douglas. He looks like he could be Michael Douglas's brother.
Would you say he really looks like that? You look.
The picture I've got here, it looks like that. Let me have a look. Yeah, we'll share screen again. That's the guy. Tell me that doesn't look like Michael Douglas.
But these in the two left-hand corners is what he looks like now compared to the big picture on the side.
So down here.
No, up. Oh well, yeah.
Up here. That's more him now. Yeah. Okay. I think that look is. I think he should try and keep this look if he can, as long as he can, because that's like a Tony Stark, Michael Douglas.
But you should look his channel up on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna check him out. And
He's fucking funny. I don't know if you had Comedy Central at all.
I didn't grow up with it,
But
but then I wasn't allowed to watch a lot of stuff growing up.
Okay. But they used to have these half-hour comedy specials, and it was always a different comedian, and he was one of them. And they would play these things all the time on Comedy Central in like the late '90s and early 2000s.
Okay, it looks like he's getting into the political side of things. He's got himself a political show there.
He definitely got himself into the political side of things because holy shit, he goes off and off and off. In fact,
Okay, now he looks like an interesting comic. The fact that like the banner across the top of his YouTube page looks essentially like he's saying "fuck you" into a microphone and flipping the bird at someone.
all right.
Just the shape of his mouth looks like the F of "fuck you," and he's flipping the bird. Kind of makes you think that.
Do you like stand-up comedy?
Some of it's good. Some I do like. Like yeah, everybody loves the was his name Eddie Murphy's Raw and his the stand-up stuff like that.
Raw and Delirious, both of those were good. Both of
Yes.
those.
And there's a comedian who's a large fellow called Fluffy that I really like.
Oh, that guy. Gabriel Iglesias. Yeah. Yeah.
He did a good one of Fluffy Goes to India. I like his stand-up routine of Fluffy Goes to India, where it's like he gets along really well with them because he's Mexican, so he's like brown people from was it that like spicy food, and he goes to India and it's like brown people who like spicy food. And this is his words, not me. So I'm not being racist by saying that they're the same because they're both brown people who like spicy food. He's the one who said it.
But
But yeah. I like his style of comedy. Better try that again. I like his style of comedy because it's like he tells a story about something that he did that was funny. He doesn't just like bag on somebody.
who? Gabriel Iglesias.
Yeah, because it's
Oh
usually something
yeah,
like a story that him and his mates
sometimes
went and did something, and they were idiots when they went and did it, and it was funny.
no. It's all right. Being Andrew Dice Clay is totally different from being certain because Andrew Dice Clay would just point at someone in the audience and just cut them to ribbons for like fucking for up to like 15 minutes, like just
Yeah,
one person in the audience. I mean, he was funny and all, but that's a
that's
little
over the top.
much.
Yeah, like a comedian that can do I like them if they can stand up on stage and do a story that is a funny story. They're not being assholes; they're just being funny. But then when they have a heckler in the audience, they can then turn it around and go,
Oh, I
right,
actually love when they
you're
destroy
fair
hecklers.
game.
I love when they destroy hecklers.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love when hecklers get destroyed.
It's good because it's the one person in the entire audience. It's like you've got an entire audience of people who are on the side of the comedian and getting along with the comedian, and there's like one heel in the entire room, and now it's like everyone's on the same page and everybody gets it. Nobody feels sorry for this person who's being torn
I
apart.
know you know Bill Burr.
Bill Burr, yeah.
You know Bill Burr. Like he's another one. He came out. There was a video of him coming out in Philly, and they were booing him as soon as he came out on stage, and he's doing nothing but ripping on the whole city of Philadelphia the entire time. And after
Yeah.
after every insult he says, he's like, "I got 5 minutes," and then he just says another insult to the crowd, and then he's like, "I got 4 minutes."
Yeah, I liked him, but I found if this is he sort of I think he might have got Me Too'd or something, and then sort of softened his rhetoric a little bit.
Well, no, his wife is hardcore liberal. He
Ah,
married he married a hardcore liberal black lady for some reason, which
ah.
totally conflicts with what you see with Bill Burr is like on stage, like because even
Yeah,
during his podcast, she would always poke her head in and act like she wasn't supposed to come in on his podcasts, and she would come in on the podcast and say all this other yada yada yada.
I don't know. I didn't know he was married to a full-on. I knew he was married and he had a kid, and I thought it was uh, I don't know, something like he doesn't he wants to work and be able to support the kid, so he's got to be careful and toe the party line now. Because when it was just him and it was only his reputation at stake, then it was no big deal. But now he's got
But
a kid to
he still goes on like a maniac.
not as much. There's quite a bit that he had seen him soften quite a bit.
The
And I thought
only
that maybe somebody said something to him.
the only thing I saw of him recently was the Saturday Night Live monologue. That's all I
So
saw.
it said his Monday morning YouTube show that he did. That was like on a Tuesday morning.
I mean, it's been a while since I listened to his podcast because his wife kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah, I basically stopped watching his YouTube show when it was sort of like, oh, this is going really, really liberal and really, really left, and like you used to be funny, and now it's sort of like, uh,
But
like if he can get angry at something and rip the shit out of it, then he's funny. If he's not angry at something and ripping the shit out of it, then he's not funny.
that's kind of how I feel about Joe Rogan.
Yeah. There's something about Joe Rogan I just don't like. I don't know. It's hard to put a
No, I
finger on
like
it.
Joe Rogan when he's like when he did that Carlos Mencia thing. That I thought was.
I haven't seen a great deal of his stand up. His podcast,
Well, I don't like his
like,
stand.
his
I don't
stand
like.
up I haven't really seen that much of, and I haven't really been that into. But his podcast, it's something like, there's been times where he's sort of like let them roll over the top of, like, there's someone sitting there and they're saying a whole bunch of stuff, and I think, this fucking liberal douchebag is saying a whole lot of stuff that is blatantly and provably untrue, and you're just going to sit there and go,
Oh, because
and they're going to be sit there and they're going to like.
smoking in the studio. That's why.
Like, you're going to sit there and there'll be somebody who will spend like 40 minutes to an hour talking about how Stefan Molyneux is a white nationalist, racist, bigot person who believes that all black people have low IQs and should be exterminated, and he's a Nazi. And I'm sitting there going, like, this is blatantly untrue. You had the guy on your show like 6 months ago, and the guy was on your show 6 months ago and explained in detail why those things were wrong and why they were made up and where those lies came from. And yet you're just going to sit there and go, as this guy is just tearing him apart.
Dude, Joe Rogan, you mean, right?
Yeah, Joe Rogan's sitting there going, while the guest is ripping into somebody he had on his show before.
Because he don't give a fuck about that fucking. He don't give a fuck about that the way he gives a fuck about his UFC announcing career.
Yeah, but then it's like I listened to was Adam Cast in Tim.
I'm not saying I listen to Joe Rogan. I don't really like Joe Rogan.
That's it. I don't. That's things like that he's done that I was like, that there's a certain level of integrity that I thought he had that I realize he doesn't.
I was saying the one thing I liked of him was when he invaded a Carlos Mencia stand-up thing and confronted him on stage about stealing people's jokes. That was pretty much the only thing I ever liked.
What I've seen when it comes to stealing people's jokes in the comedic industry, generally it's considered frowned upon and you don't do it. But then on the other side of the coin, everybody fucking does it. Everybody spitballs and rips off and reuses each other's content, and it's like, it's cutthroat business. Whoever can get ahead gets ahead.
Yeah, but have you seen clips of when people do it like habitually?
I haven't seen clips of them doing habitually. Usually, you try and do it better than they did it. You don't just copy them word for word.
Certain big time comedians. One big time comedian I won't name. That I might get shut down if she's helicoptering.
Yeah.
If I say the name Amy Schumer, whoops, I'm sorry. But they showed clips of her saying multiple people's jokes word for word.
Yeah.
Well, all right, not word for word, some of them, but
But if she can deliver it better and has better comic timing, then okay. She saw somebody who had a good idea for a joke and made it better by delivering the same joke word for word, but better.
But for multiple different comedians, like,
Yeah.
all right.
Generally speaking, I wouldn't think that most comedians who do something like that would do it for multiple comedians. They would find a comedian that they idolize or a comedian that's got a piece and say, oh, that's a good idea, and then say, but you're not delivering it right. You need to say it like this. You got your timing wrong. You need to put a pause in here, and you didn't.
How about just come up with your own jokes?
Yeah, but then that's like, is anything really your own stuff? I mean, that like.
If you think about it enough, if you think about it, If you think about it enough, it can be your own thing.
Yeah, but
Just gotta
then
think outside the box. That's all you gotta
but
do. When it
okay,
comes to
there's
anything, when it
I
comes to
don't
anything,
listen to interviews with what's his name, the guy who played Benjamin Sisko in Deep Space Nine, and I don't watch other people's episode reviews and let's watches and episode breakdowns for Deep Space Nine because I want to do one, and the angle I want to come at is the same angle that the actor who played the captain comes at when he's being done interviews because he sits down, they do an interview, and they want to know, like, what was it like playing a black, powerful man? And they want to ask the pop culture Hollywood questions. And he wants to sit down and talk about Deep Space Nine being a metaphor for the human condition. And let's have a deeper conversation about existence and understanding and
and they just
what
want to
what it
ask
is
him.
to be alive.
They just want to ask him questions about being a black guy, right? They just
Yeah.
want to be okay. You're an
So
African American actor, blah blah blah, and
I've
they
seen a
just
few of them
lead
where
off with
he will,
stuff like that. When you lead off with stuff like that, it's like,
yeah,
yeah, you don't have to do that. You're just putting people into a box. They're like, what?
yeah.
Why can't
I've
they
seen
just
this
be? Why can't they just be
Avery
a
Brooks.
director? Let them be a director, an actor. Yes. Yes.
Um, I have met online somebody who is friends with Avery Brooks, and through conversations with that person, he has said that if you were to meet Avery Brooks, the chances are he would like you, and he doesn't like many sci-fi fans, mainly because I was trying to explain. My understanding of Deep Space Nine from a metaphysical and psychological perspective, which was mirroring what he was saying, what Avery Brooks was saying. But I've seen interviews where Avery Brooks is trying to talk about the deeper side of the show while they're trying to talk about what's it like to be a black man in Hollywood. And he will, like,
Jesus
that's the
Christ.
first question. The first question, he just changes his body language just a little bit. So he crosses his legs, so he's no longer crossing his leg towards the interviewer. And then as the interviewer keeps asking more and more questions, he slowly turns until he's sitting with his back completely to the interviewer.
Like, you don't have to do that. Like,
But he's like, yeah, he
no,
doesn't
not
like,
him. I mean, the interviewer. It's like,
yeah.
why do you have
Oh, but
to do that?
it, I think it was at a Comic Con, so he had to ask pro Comic Con questions, and the questions that are allowed at Comic Con. So he was the interview was really restricted, but the interviewer was still trying to go down a surface level question path while Avery was trying to go down a deeper conversation. And that's why I don't like looking at what Avery is saying when he's watching. I don't like watching what Avery says about the show because I don't want that to um, taint my perception of the show. And I don't watch other people's things because I don't want their understanding of it to taint my understanding of it so that when I do my show, it's just this idea that I've got of what it all means. And we're just looking at it from that perspective. And I'm not sort of like rehashing and copying what other people have said because it's too easy to just accidentally like somebody says something that is what I'm thinking, but they've said it in a better way, or they've come close to saying what I'm thinking, and I can just change what they're saying a little bit to say what I'm thinking. It's too easy to do that, so I don't watch what they're saying, don't listen to what they're saying, so that I don't. In the way saying, and that links back to the comedians saying that the comedians, it's very easy for them to watch a lot of other comedians
And
and then
steal?
start copying them by accident, and not so much by accident, but it becomes like hard to think
Habitual.
of your own. Like
Habitual.
it, not a habitual, but it's like if you're trying to think of something, you're trying to take this idea and make it into words, and you see someone else take a similar idea and make it into words, it's too easy to accidentally copy them or to um, fall back on copying them.
All right. Well, stealing things, and ripoffs, like stealing things and ripoffs is a fine line. Outright stealing something and then taking, all right, I guess, quote unquote, inspiration from something.
Yeah, but
Because
it's easy to. They
everything
say
is a,
that's a fine line.
you know,
Inspiration and copying is a fine line.
do you know why the movie RoboCop was made? Because they slacked for years on making a Judge Dredd movie.
Huh. So it's
So
basically it's like where
stuff
we.
like that happens. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that happens.
So RoboCop is essentially a robot Judge Dredd.
Robotic Judge Dredd. Yes, exactly.
That just makes so much sense.
It does. It really does when you think about it. It really,
Yeah,
really.
the whole way he talks, the look,
The visor,
the visor, the world they're living in.
the super gun.
Yeah.
You know.
Ah, that makes so much sense. Although the super gun has been in a lot of things.
Yeah, I know.
The gun that looks like that's a super gun has been in a lot of things.
But
Like,
I'm just saying, since the whole thing was because they slacked on making a Judge Dredd movie.
yeah, yeah.
Then you end
Totally
up, and
makes
then
sense.
you wait too long and end up with that Stallone Judge Dredd movie.
Yeah. So that one was bad. But then with Stallone, you
It
have to
had,
expect
it had it.
Stallone will want to take his mask off,
Oh, of course he had to take his mask off. There
even
was
though
no
Judge Dredd doesn't
way.
take his mask off.
That Carl Urban one was awesome, though. That one was
Yeah.
fucking good.
Carl Urban was a good one. Yeah,
And you know
I haven't
what?
seen it.
You didn't see it?
I hadn't seen it for a while. I think I saw it when it first came out, and then I didn't see it again. I think I got to watch it again.
Well,
It's been a
guess
while.
what? He doesn't take his mask off the whole fucking movie.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the
Visor,
things I remember in it. Yeah. That's the whole point.
no, not with Stallone.
No.
Stallone's
Because
got
Stallone, he's such a big name and a big face that, like, yeah, and you're paying that money to have his face on the screen, and he wants everyone to see it was him and know it's him.
so then he's a bad choice for Judge Dredd.
Yes. But then he was in Demolition Man, and Demolition Man was like a
You know what?
saccharine version of Judge Dredd.
Demolition Man was fucking awesome. I
It
love
was.
that. I love
It
that.
was no Judge Dredd, but it was a beautiful movie. It was like
Oh, that
nicely
movie.
done.
That movie was better than it was better than Stallone's Judge Dredd.
Oh, definitely. No, there was so much fun. The whole it was like there was
It told
more
the future.
thought.
It told the future.
There's more thought and like logic put into it than a lot of the movies that are made today.
It actually told the future of right now.
Yeah.
That and
It's, yeah.
Idiocracy. That and Idiocracy are two movies that.
Goddamn. Idiocracy, man. I think the guy who made Idiocracy actually came out and said that, like, he said that he did not expect that his movie would become a documentary. That he made it and he intended it. He intended it to be a funny comedy movie, and he now sees that it has become a documentary.
You know who that is, though, right? Mike Judge. Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
He did tell the future. It's insane.
Yeah.
Him and whoever wrote Demolition Man, they pretty much did tell the future. And I've been saying this for a while. The future is going to be half Idiocracy, half Demolition Man. I've been saying this for a while. And people have been laughing at me. But we're coming to that point. It's really going to be that.
I don't know, it's entirely possible, but it's also entirely possible that we just go into another massive war that shakes everything up.
Is it going to be WW3?
Well, I would not be surprised that Trump gets elected, the left riot across America, and then in the other Western countries that were copying America in the last riots, even though there was no reason for them to, will copy the riots again. and that would just be like, would ramp everything. Would just push everything up to the next level of riots and next level of discord, and then you get a civil war.
Yay. And then yay, Civil War.
Yeah.
Hurrah. Well, this country's already in the middle of a civil war. Fucking, how many goddamn cities been burnt down here on a daily basis?
Oh, but that's not a civil war. That's just the language of the unheard.
No, it's peaceful protests.
Yeah, peaceful protests in the language of the unheard.
It's peaceful protests, everybody. No, that's it. Mostly peaceful protests. Mostly peaceful protests. Yay! Hooray!
Mostly peaceful. Like 2-3%, mostly.
Let's get the marshmallows. We're setting a statue on fire tonight.
Mostly peaceful.
Really? Mostly peaceful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for these mostly peaceful protests.
It's like eating the whole chocolate bar and saying that it's mostly left. Like there's most of it's left for you.
It's like burning half your kitchen down.
3/4 of the kitchen down.
And your wife walks in and sees that half the room all charred. And you're like, I mostly burnt the kitchen down.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Hunter Biden was mostly a stand-up person.
Joe Biden was mostly friends with that KKK guy. Whoops. Wait, did I get a little too political here? I guess I got a little too political.
But hey, speaking of mostly political, ABC got confirmed.
Confirmed for what? COVID?
No, for she was trying to get, they wanted to put her forward for the Senate.
Oh,
Trump put her forward for the Senate,
I
and they're saying like they were going to block it, and they were going to stop it from happening.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant the network ABC.
No, not ABC, ACB.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ACB. She was confirmed for the Supreme Court. Supreme Court or Senate? Supreme Court. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, she got confirmed, and the left have been saying that she won't be confirmed because they're going to boycott it, because they will refuse to go and vote, because they will stall until after the election because it's the right thing to do, and Trump has no right to do it, so it won't happen anyway. And then it's like, oh, done, dusted, signed, sealed, delivered.
I just can't wait till all this shit is over. Just get it all over with. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of it. Get it
Without
all
Donald Trump,
get it all
I'd have.
I
do a weekly. I was supposed to do it today, but it didn't happen. Nobody's fault. It's just the way things go. But yeah, it's a political live stream that I'm supposed to do. And if we didn't have Trump and all this crazy shit going on, then we'd have nothing to talk about.
Oh, by the way, Chris, I sent you that Nick DiPaolo stand up.
I've already subbed to his page. Is he stand up on his page?
I'm pretty sure it is. It's called A Breath of Fresh Air. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's on. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where I got it.
Where are we? Sent a link. Yeah, it's from his site, which I'm subbed to. Yeah, and that's that picture that you've got for the thumbnail there is the same as the banner.
What? What picture I have?
The picture, the Breath of Fresh Air banner thumbnail is the same as the banner on the top of his channel.
Oh,
And it
yeah,
looks
yeah.
like the look on his face. It looks like he's about to say, like he's preparing the F of the fuck you while flipping the bird. And
He
I saw
curses.
that.
He curses
I
his
thought
head
I'm gonna
off.
like this guy. Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I thought I'm gonna like this guy. This guy's like it's gonna be good.
Oh, he's funny as hell, man. He really is. He really, really is. I
There's a
think
Aussie
I
comedian.
think you'd like his daytime streams too, though. I mean, I know your politics. I
Yeah,
like. I think you'd agree with some of the shit he says.
cool. And there's a Australian comedian who he's got like this goatee and long hair. Can't remember the guy's name, but he had this really good stand-up routine that was very that like it was basically something along the lines that he like people are getting offended, and you like getting offended, dealing with people who are getting offended is something we teach like little children in primary school. So you basically they need to do the exact same thing, which was when then little Tommy comes and says this, you're a poo poo head. You
Hello,
say,
random Brad.
ignore Tommy. He's a dickhead.
Hey,
Just
random
ignore him.
Brad. Sorry, sorry.
Hey, random.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Saying hello to
Yeah,
random.
yeah. But I just thought it was so good with the idea that like all these people are offended. Oh, I'm so offended. It's like good you're offended. You know what? Like if you're offended, you ignore them. Like sticks and stones will break my bones. We've been teaching this stuff to little children for a long time now.
Well, there's always bullies everywhere. It's like
Yeah. See, I'm
first of
thinking that
all,
we should teach.
I knew bullies who got bullied, which is what turned them into bullies.
Yeah, but I think that we should
What do
less
you
focus less
think,
on.
what do you think turns a bully into the way he is by being bullied?
I don't think. I don't think it's necessarily being bullied. I think that there's a number of things that go into it, and I think that we focus far too much on the victim and like, oh, you're a bully, you're so bad. And I think that no, like bullies, like the bullying that I got when I was a kid in school made me a stronger adult. And and if I hadn't been through the bullying, I think that's why there's a lot like a younger generation that can't handle being offended
But
and
they
can't handle
never
being made
dealt with
fun of
bullies because they
because
never
they
dealt
never
with a single bully in their
because as
life.
soon as there was like something that might be bullying at school, the
First of
teachers jumped
all,
in and separated everything and stopped everything from happening.
I grew up in a house with two bullies that were much older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'd say that you're probably a tough as nails motherfucker now.
My sister and my quote unquote brother, because I don't fucking call him that anymore because he's not my blood. He's a piece of shit. Anyway, uh, they were much older than me, and they used to they used to like plot together and be like, "Oh, we're gonna tell mom and dad." Like they used to do this shit to me all the time, and got me all worried about everything. It's like,
Yeah, but then it desensitizes you to being like, people trying to worry you about things.
I don't know. I'm just saying they were assholes.
Yeah. I grew up in a household where my old man would beat the living shit out of
That's
me for his fun.
oh yeah, my dad beat the shit out of me too.
And
Yeah,
so there was nothing that I'd actually done. It was just that he had had a hard day at work and needed to beat the shit out
same
of somebody.
same here, same here. That's why my brother and sister doing that shit to me used to get me worried because sometimes my dad would
Yeah.
dealing with three kids. I guess like I guess we're all living on top of each other in such a small apartment. And
I mean, anyone living with anyone, you get on each other's nerves sooner or later. I mean, that's why the COVID fucked up a lot of people's relationships.
it was way
So
way,
the,
way before COVID
well,
type
no, I'm
shit.
just saying that being in a small environment, living with people, um, can cause that, and it's also what happened to have caused a lot of people's breakups and relationships being destroyed from because they were locked in and in a small environment and couldn't get away from each other. You get like a couple, and then they're always at work and they don't see each other. And then they come home and they have a bit of time at home where they see each other, where they can enjoy some TV and some food, and then go to sleep and get up and go to work the next day. And maybe they have like a weekend or two together. And now they're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together. Surprise, surprise, they hate each other.
Well, also I've known people who've grown up in big environments, like living in a big house, and they're still all fucked up.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's the relationship with the family. It's like whatever
Then
type
I
of.
know people who had good relationships with their family and they still ended up being fucked up individuals.
I knew brothers who stabbed each other in the face with broken bottles. I knew shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, there's I think there's a lot of factors that can go into it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I still got my thing up as Reggie instead of up as Krish. I just realized we've been going for like nearly 2 hours, and I just realized. But that is because I've been in the background the whole time. I've hardly had this up. I've been in the background the whole time doing that. The intro, so I didn't see it.
well, all right. I don't mean to blow up your spot right here, but Reggie and Krish sound exactly alike. I didn't mean to hit you with the news like that, but
Yes, I do know they both sound the same. It's essentially the same voice because the idea is that um, doing the character Reggie, it's too hard. It was like when I was first starting with it, it's just too hard to do any sort of character and to maintain a voice. So rather than doing some sort of silly voice, it's just I'm just going to do my voice, and I'm just going to like essentially be my id as the character.
it's
So
like if I try to do a different voice, I don't know how I would be able to try to sound.
well, that's the thing is, it's like you've got to, like, from what I've gathered and worked out, is that you need to get the character and develop the character, and based on the character and what the character looks like, you can create the voice. To just put on a silly voice, it's like you like a voice of what? Unless you're
But
a very skilled voice actor, then you've got like a bunch of practiced voices that you can just switch into. If you're
but
not,
also, are you gonna create your own character, or are you just gonna do an impersonation?
yeah, which impersonations aren't bad because you can do a terrible impersonation of of a real
That's
character, and that can work out.
yeah.
Like if I was going to do a Scottish or Irish character, I'd just do a really bad Sean Connery.
I could do Connery. I could do a
Connery.
Connery. Bush. When you end something with the S or C,
The sound of it.
a rainforest.
To see, one of my favorite lines that he said is
I'm not a
one of the
shirt.
favorite lines I have
I'm
doing.
not a shirt
Where,
man in the rainforest.
so, hang on, let me see if I can get this right. Hitting a woman with an open hand is not the worst thing you can do to her. That's one of the lines he actually said to Barbara Walters or something like that in an interview. She was talking about him and abusing women
You
and
shot,
in
you
hitting women.
shot, you shot one of us to the hospital. We shot one of yours to the morgue.
Yeah, seriously.
Seriously. Highlander, like I'm the last.
Yes. Good old Highlander was good. I liked Highlander. Even though
I,
it made no
I didn't
sense
see past the
whatsoever.
first. Everyone told me how horrible after the first one was. I never
That's
saw
part of it.
past Highlander one.
It's like it's part of the the ridiculousness. None of it making any sense, and like you just accept it for what it is. That it's and go along for the rider. That's the only way that you can really
I mean,
enjoy
I
it.
wouldn't put my, I'm not saying that. I wouldn't watch them. I'm always down to watch a horrible movie no matter what. Come
Yeah.
on, we watched Undefeatable, bro. Come on.
Nothing can be worse than undefeatable.
I think there's worse than Undefeatable. You know why I think there's worse than Undefeatable? Because some of these movie studios had way bigger budgets. That's why I think
Yeah.
there's worse than Undefeatable.
Yeah, that they were they did that with more. They did equivalent with more money is sort of like impressive.
You know
Impressive
what?
to be that bad.
I'm gonna say I'd rather watch Undefeatable again than Avengers Endgame. Fuck
I didn't
Avengers
really
Endgame.
like most of the
Fuck that.
Marvel movies. I didn't really like them. Like you watch
You
them
know
once,
what I'm
and they're
saying?
okay.
Everyone wants to jump on the whole Marvel movie things. I don't care when you come out with fucking 10 of them a year. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
anymore.
there's a market saturation. It's like when Iron Man, the first Iron Man movie came in. It's like, yeah, okay, this is good, but I'm not really like maybe I'd
First
want to watch
off,
it once or twice.
Iron Man 2 sucked. Iron Man 2
Um,
sucked, and Iron Man 2 made me like not want to see Iron Man 3. And
yeah,
yes,
and Iron Man 3 was just sad. It was
and
just pathetic.
I am not one of those people that will sit through every single Marvel movie.
I've
I'm so
sat through most
tired
of
of
them
comic
at
book
least
movies.
once,
I'm so tired of comic book movies.
but I'm pretty much not going to see another one. I will not be seeing, and I cannot think of another Marvel movie that I'm going to I actually care when it's coming out or want to see it. There is this like maybe 5 movies I'm vaguely interested in that are coming out over the next like 12 months.
Like what?
I believe I'm not sure if it's come out or not yet, but the Kingsman prequel. I'm interested in
Oh,
seeing
they're
that.
like Kingsman.
Sorry, what?
I didn't know they were doing another one.
Yeah, it's Kingsman instead of Kingsman.
I
And
saw
it's
the first
supposed to be
one.
a prequel of how it all started.
I saw the
Because the first
first
one,
one.
I like the first one, and the second one was like trying to cash in on it, but
Of course, it's
it's like okay,
it's a sequel. Of course.
yeah. Honest Thief, I wouldn't mind seeing. What else is there? I don't know if I really want to see Outpost.
What's honesty?
Honest Thief. Honest Thief is what's it called? I think some sort of bank robber wants to turn himself in and like retire, but he
Shit.
gets double crossed and has to go back into the business.
Yeah. Oh shit. That's why when you said that, I was trying to remember. Oh, who the hell is
Tenant,
that?
I'm not interested in. There's not much else that I'm really interested in seeing. There's a bunch of horror movies that are coming out that might be worth seeing. On Halloween, in the cinemas near me, they will have Gremlins and Evil Dead 2, which might be worth
Oh,
seeing in the cinema.
nice, nice. See, I
If
always
it's
love,
planning on
I always
doing that.
love when theaters do that when they play old shit in a theater.
Yeah, good
I
old
always love
movies,
when they do that.
classics. The thing is, it's just a long way to go to get down there, so I end up just not going because I like don't have the it's a bus fare or something.
Okay,
Back.
the Liam Neeson movie.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where I saw this one. It was a Liam Neeson movie. Honestly,
I think that might be it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
for movies released this year.
The movies that are released, Empty Man. I think I wanted to see that. which was a group of teens from a small Midwest town mysteriously disappear. It's an urban legend known as the Empty Man. Sort of horror mystery. But then I'm not really big into horror and stuff like that. So
See, despite my name, yes, the same thing. I'm not. I mean, I'm moderately into horror. I'm moderately into sci-fi.
okay, there's 3 more films that I wanted to see. Freaky, which I only wanted to see it because I'm curious to see how they redo a Freaky Friday movie.
Well, they remake Freaky Friday every like 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, but this isn't even like this. They didn't even bother putting the Friday. They're just going to call it Freaky, and it has no real connection to the other movies other than it's the exact same story, the exact same idea, redone. Teenage girl swaps bodies with a serial killer.
So it's like
Um,
So it's like one of those VHS slasher movies from the '80s, right?
I think it's more focused. It's like I think it might be like PG rated, and it's more focused on like the young girl teen flick than it is on the horror.
Have you ever heard of this movie? Have you ever heard of this movie Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
Yes, I've seen that one.
You've seen
It's
it?
not bad.
Did you
It's not
like?
bad. It's enjoyable. Yeah, it's fun. But there's also one that's coming out in December that's called Free Guy.
Free,
Free
free.
Guy. And that one I'm interested in. The idea of the movie, I think, is more interesting to me than probably the movie is going to be. It's like, so if you imagine you walk around every day and like there's like you work in a bank and every day somebody comes in and robs the bank. And it was
So it's like Groundhog Day, but with the bank robbery.
no. But not only that, it's like if you worked in the bank every day, somebody different comes in and robs the bank. As you're walking down the street, there'd be like people flying down the road at high speed, and like the car just explodes for no reason and then somersaults. And like any sort of game trope you can imagine just happens every day around you because you are a character in a game. You're an NPC just living his life in the game world.
Oh,
There is a pair of glasses. You put on the glasses, and now you can see what the player sees in the game world, and you can interact with the game world as if you were a player.
what was that fucking Gerard Butler movie
Um,
where they were like playing for their lives in the game?
it wasn't Ready Player
Oh
One.
shit. Gamer. Yes, that was it.
Gamer.
They were like playing for their lives in a virtual world. Like they were real people thrown into a. I, I don't remember exactly what. No, it wasn't a gaming world. It was more like a just. It was almost like the Running Man, but way more extreme. Ever seen the
Yeah,
Running Man?
I've seen the Running Man. Yeah, Gamer. I haven't seen that one. But there's also one last one that I wanted to see called Fat
What's good?
Man.
Wookie, how you doing?
Hey, Wookie in the house.
Yeah.
Absolute
Random
classic. Yeah.
guys,
It's a Fat Man. It's a Mel Gibson movie. Sport rich kid, lives with ailing grandmother, absentee father, rules the house with an iron fist.
what is it?
I think it's a Christmas movie where I think he goes after Santa for giving him a lump of coal or something like that.
Who was
It's like
this?
yeah,
This movie
it's
then?
Fat Man.
It's called Fat Man. How old is this movie?
So there's a skinny man is going to kill Fat Man, and like yeah, Fat Man is Santa Claus.
How old is this movie?
I think it came out this year. Yeah, this year.
And
It comes out in November.
It's literally called Fat Man.
Fat Man, yes.
Okay, gonna look this up. You think this is so bad it would be free on YouTube?
I don't think it will be yet.
I mean, I've sat through some really like. I went out with this fucking girl. I went out with this fucking girl that was like, "Let's watch Human Centipede." It's like, are you
what?
fucking kidding
No,
me?
thank you.
Are you fucking kidding? No, we watched it, and then she was like, "There's more." I was like, "No, I'm good. I'm all right. No more Human Centipedes for me."
All right, this is Fat Man. Can we hear it? We got volume? There's no sound yet. Here we go. Should sound now.
There is sound.
I've lost my influence. Maybe it's time I retired the coat.
Still have
Some kids with a deer rifle put 2 holes in the slave, one in me. All I have is a loathing for a world that's forgotten.
The United States military would like to procure your services.
It's a one-time deal, gentlemen.
That's Santa Claus, by the way.
The golden kids are well, I hope.
Where are you?
You just lost a big son!
What's the job?
I'm not gonna kill Santa Claus.
Hey, kill Santa. He's putting the hit on Santa Claus. Holy shit.
This is what people actually think of Christmas as a farce. I am a joke.
What's the purpose of your visit?
Hunting. I'm gonna kill something.
And this dude too. Holy shit! I just realized that's that dude. At first, it took me a while to realize it's Mel Gibson, and then I was like, "Oh,
He just realized it's Mel Gibson.
I'm not shaving off a dead man's beard.
Your workers sure have healthy appetites.
That's why elves live much longer than humans. And Chris, he doesn't say. No, it's a giving that keeps him young.
I've come for your head, fat man!
Dashing through the snow, no one horse open
You think you're the first?
Oh,
Think I got this job because I'm fat and jolly?
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
so how soon am I getting shut down for this thing here?"
While you sleep. The fat man's got his eye on you, kid. Oh, that's Donner. Lucky it wasn't Blitzer. Should tear your package clean off.
So how soon am I getting shut down for that preview right there?
I think that I found myself a new Christmas movie. Every Christmas, I'm going to sit down and watch that movie. It looks like it could be a lot of fun. It's going to be, like, it's going to take itself seriously. It's going to be dark. But by doing that, it's going to be so much fun.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It took me a bit to realize, oh, that's Mel Gibson.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yeah.
A couple times, like, oh, I never saw Mel Gibson with a lumberjack beard. Okay.
Yeah, it's Mel Gibson with a lumberjack beard. And I think he's going to, like, a broken, disillusioned Santa Claus, like Mel Gibson playing a broken, disillusioned Santa Claus. I think it's going to be good. It's going to be funny. Like your Santa who drinks too much and swears and is like,
Well, they already
fuck these
did
kids that are fucking, that don't believe me. Shit.
they already did that with Bad Santa. I mean,
Yeah, but I think this could be fun.
just in a different way.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. That's why I want to see that one. Look, yeah, it's going to be fun. And I like Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's been in a lot of good stuff.
He's one of those actors that's like kind of hit or miss for me, depending
Yeah.
on what he's in. It always depends on what I see him in.
I suppose any sort of action / comedy that I've seen him in, I've enjoyed.
I mean, I saw Signs, and when he just cried his way through the last half of that movie, it just got me so annoyed.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. So
You know what?
yeah.
Keep it that way.
He's not the sort of character. He doesn't play the sort of characters you want to see crying. Like they'd be a bit uncomfortable.
Then watch Signs up until the midway point. If you don't want to see him crying anymore, then
As soon as he starts crying, that's when you
that's when you like
skip
boop,
the credits.
boop, stop right there.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna keep going. The
Yeah.
tears are just gonna come through your fucking TV screen.
Yeah, man, I can't deal with the water damage. I'll have to stop right there.
And Jesus Christ, 2 hours in, and now I have 5 viewers.
It's not bad. I hate it when I've got like 2 or 3 hours in, and then people start turning up, and you're like, I want to stop at this point, and now everyone's turning up.
Are you dropping anytime soon? Just let me know.
I will at some stage have to get going because I've got the delivery coming up. Probably within the next 2 hours or so.
Oh, all right. Holy shit! So let's keep this train running.
Yeah. So I'd probably say anywhere like was expecting it probably around about now, but anywhere from here to about 4 o'clock, which is probably another 2 hours or so.
I was actually kidding, by the way. I mean, I'll keep it running. So whatever.
Hey man, if you want to call it at 2 hours, I'm happy to call it at 2 hours.
Why do that?
Hey, give the audience what they want, hey?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Much destruction. That should look good though.
Chaos. That movie.
Batman. That should look good.
Batman. Yeah. That's probably one of like that and Kingsman are the 2 movies I'm really sort of like, yeah, I want to see these 2 movies. These are like, yeah, looks like I'm going to come out of the cinema with a smile on my face.
What was the other one? The other one you showed me. Oh yeah, you showed me the Liam Neeson that thing. He does over and over and over again. That's what you showed me.
Yeah.
The hell is it called again? Holy shit! You just
Kingsman isn't coming out until next year now. It was supposed to come out this year.
not Kingsman.
Yeah.
The Liam Neeson one.
Yeah, that was what was it called? Let me look that up again. That was Honest Thief.
Yeah, he just keeps doing that same fucking type of movie over and over again.
Yeah, but I didn't see all those Taken movies that he did, so I saw bits and pieces of them, but I didn't actually see them. So I might enjoy this one. And out of all the movies that are coming out, like it's hard to pick one that's not actually that's something I want to see.
All right, TWTG. Give me 1 second. I have to mute for a second. Do you mind?
Go for it. So how's everybody hanging down there in the chat? You got Wookiee Supremacy. Drunk 3PO got a shout out from Cypress Hill. That's pretty cool. That's old school. Insane in a membrane. Insane in a membrane. Joe Rogan sent me here. Yeah, random. You're spying for Joe Rogan, are you? He wants to know what's happening with the up and coming YouTuber, some of the top up and coming YouTubers. Gibson got shamed from Hollywood for saying they all drink baby blood. Yeah, but he kind of got drunk and went over the top when he did that. He like being messy drunk and falling to bits, and then saying that sort of stuff. Not a good look. If he was like, sipping tea and refined and, oh yes, I'm totally in control of my faculties and it is most definitely a thing, then it would have looked a lot better. But I guess like when you spend a good chunk of your life doing movies with people who are into adrenochrome, then yeah, you're gonna be. It's gonna weigh on you. You get a few drinks into you. You start saying things you shouldn't, and get burnt by Hollywood in the process. And then, 10 years later, it's sort of like it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's well known, and everybody knows about it. Yeah, you'd be sitting there going like, Mel Gibson would be sitting there saying like, told you, friggin' told you, you burnt me after I told you. I suppose that's probably why he's doing something now, is because when he told everyone about it, he got burnt and wasn't able to work in the industry. And now they're sort of saying, oh, why did they burn him again? Why have we got a black mark against his name? Oh, he was saying something that everybody knows now. So we don't really have to worry about him being cancelled because he said something that everybody knows and it's just common knowledge now. So yeah, you get a reprieve. It's like when you do something, like you say you smoke, you get caught carrying a little bit of weed, and you go to jail, and then they repeal the laws and let you out.
And I'm sorry for that, Chris.
That's okay.
I had to attend to something else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I might end up leaving you the same way, so I can go to the toilet and grab some water.
No problem.
But I don't need to go fight down. I was just saying that, like, what's his name was saying? Who was saying it? Wookiee Supremacy was saying that Gibson got shamed from Hollywood for saying they all drink baby blood, and I was thinking that like that whole like
what?
Back before
They don't drink baby blood.
Well, no, like how the stuff about Q, all the stuff that's coming out about Q, how the Democrats and Hollywood are part of a satanic cult that sacrifice babies.
Yeah, there was always that sort of talk about.
The difference is now is that like when he said it, it wasn't mainstream, and it wasn't like common knowledge. Now it's like, oh, everybody knows about that. And I was sort of saying it's sort of like when you commit a crime and you go to jail and then they repeal the law and then they have to let you out. And that's why he's doing movies now. Because like since he said those things, he was basically blacklisted. They cancelled him. He wasn't allowed to, he wasn't working anymore. And then now everybody knows about it and it's no big deal. And it's like, oh yeah, that stuff about drinking baby blood. Yeah, that's like old news now. Now he's making another movie.
All right. Is the reason he's doing movies now because of that, or is he's like, all right? Because remember when Nicolas Cage owed the IRS money and Wesley Snipes owed the IRS money, and they were making movies left and right that they didn't care if they were in the theater or straight to DVD.
As long as they got paid.
Yeah, exactly. I think Steven
Seagal. It could be that he needs the money.
I think
it
Steven
could be he has a tax
in that boat at one point.
It could be. Although, from what I understand, is that he was definitely blacklisted, and he was Hollywood definitely turned on him when he said all that stuff.
Oh, absolutely, Hollywood turned on him. But some of them had his back. Some of them had his back. It's not like everyone turned their back on him. Some of them.
But the majority of the people who were making movies and like doing stuff at the time, who turned their back on him. I was looking at that and the way that it happened because he was drunk and he was messy when he said it all. That I sort of said like he's like I did not expect him to get another job and say well like it's like what's his name the played Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. when he got all messy and
Oh,
drug.
that dude
And
threw his way of life, his whole fucking career away on crack, and
I
he came back. He came back pretty good.
I was looking at it sort of like that, and it's like, well, he's going to have to be like for him to come back. It's like, particularly with the whole stuff he was saying about the Jews, like, yeah, I was expecting him to basically, oh, you're screwed your entire career from now on.
Have you ever seen the movie Less Than Zero? Heard about
Sounds
this
familiar.
movie at all? Heard about it at all? It's kind of, it was kind of foretelling Robert Downey Jr.'s future. And Robert Downey Jr. was playing the role of future Robert
main
Downey
character.
Jr. It was yeah.
So that's where he got the idea.
Who the hell knows? Who knows? But you got to look up a preview for this movie.
I'm looking at the preview here. I'm just looking at one of the pictures that I've got here.
Oh, he is horrible in this movie. Oh my god, he is. He's like the definition of crack fiend.
Is that flickering on your end?
Yeah,
The
am I
thing that
getting?
I've got?
Is it getting blocked?
That's weird.
Is it getting blocked? Is that what it is? They don't want us speaking ill of Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, Brandon Brad's right. Oh, ew.
What's going on there?
Gross.
That work? If I hit that.
It's Andrew McCarthy. Let's see if a preview shuts me down again.
Clay is coming home from college, home to Beverly Hills.
Who's he going with? Nobody.
With two friends.
You ever think about me?
All the time.
Well, you've been
Be
away
great.
for a long time. I
Oh,
know a lot of
it's really good.
This is great. The three of us together again, seeing you.
Can you hear it?
Rich.
I hear it.
It's weird
Okay.
and stimulating.
All you have to do is relax. I'm gonna pay you back. All you need to do is
Look
trust me.
at
God
Spader.
damn.
Dave Spader, bro.
Okay, all right.
The beautiful.
You don't look happy.
But do I look good?
Wait, Trish, can you pause this for a second? Can you pause it for a second?
Hang on, I can't hear you. Give me a second.
Go on for a second.
You owe me a lot of cash.
Pause it quick.
So what are you saying?
Pause it quick.
Like nothing ever happened.
Pause it. Pause the preview
Pause it?
quick. Pause the preview.
Yeah?
Yeah. Okay. So, no joke. In this fucking movie, no joke.
Yeah.
Ultron pimps out Iron Man.
Ultron pimps out Iron Man. Nice. I gotta see this. I think I might have seen it ages ago, like when I was probably too young to be allowed to watch movies like this. And I vaguely remember some of the scenes, but then I could have been like, I've seen the preview before. Or
You
something.
see slime ball James Spader sitting in his pool right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Ultron's voice.
Yeah. But that's Jason Spader. I saw him and I was thinking, fucking,
But,
like,
yeah,
how young is he looking this? How young do they all look in this?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That was in the,
I mean-
this was like the beginning stage of their drug phase.
Yeah, this is like when, like, yeah, there's just like grease and drugs is what this looks like to me.
Yeah,
Lots of
yeah.
grease and lots of drugs.
and sunglasses.
Yeah.
And lots of sunglasses. But sorry,
Are you-
yeah. Go ahead. I just wanted to go on about that Ultraman, that Iron Man Ultron
Not from
And it's a waste of
connection.
Do whatever I can. I'll do whatever it takes.
Where is he?
Leave us alone.
Juliet, everyone is accountable.
Make me understand, Julian. I really want to understand.
Sometimes you can have anything in the world.
I think he was a famous cokehead too. Andrew McCarthy.
Andrew McCarthy, Robert
Andrew
Downey
McCarthy,
Jr.,
yeah.
Jamie Gertz, James
Jamie
Spader,
Gertz.
Check me out. I'm gonna make a serious comeback.
Great.
West.
Check me out! I'm going to make a serious comeback. Foreshadowing. We'll probably get done. We get in trouble for that.
In like 20
We
years.
get in trouble for that one. We can't do
Make
that
a
one.
serious comeback in like 20 years.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a serious comeback. Yeah, yeah.
But if you watch that movie, holy shit, is he a slime ball fucking drug addict? You got coke all over his face.
Mm.
He's
I gotta
smoking
watch
crack
that again.
on people's balconies. It's fun. It's funny. I mean, it's sad. It's funny.
Yeah. It's a like when I see stuff like that, I knew guys who thought they were going to become like the next big drug kingpin, and they were going to get into dealing and become big time, and like so they like screw themselves over and mess everything up, and you see they're going like, "Come on, guys, didn't you see this coming?" Like it was obvious, and I was as blasted as high as the rest of you the whole time, and I could see how you're going to fuck everything up.
If
But
you're
you're the
also
big man.
Yeah, if you're also trying to become a drug kingpin, you're obviously going to step on somebody else's toes and create friction. You're
Yeah.
gonna make waves. There's like,
Oh no, it's
oh,
cool because I'm the big man. I'm the hardcore. I'm the real deal.
well, then you better have more fucking firepower behind you than the other guy's crew.
The one I always loved is when they people who say they've got protection from the bikies. There's people always like they would meet one guy who's in a club and then find out that guy that they're sort of tangentially friends with is in a club, and then they'll go around telling everyone that they've got club protection. And I say, like, if anyone ever says they've got club protection, that there's a 99.99% chance that they don't, and if they keep saying it, they're going to end up hurt.
Club protection.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of type of different things.
Well, like, yeah, it's often slang referred to the bikie gangs as the club. And yeah, you say that I've got protection, like, you can't touch me, and like it's a few people will believe them, and it'll work a bit, and then it gets back to the guys.
Also,
it doesn't.
there's also the people that try to extort you and say it's protection.
Yeah.
There's the people who will say, you don't want your business smashed up, right?
Yeah, and then the riots happen; they get smashed up anyway.
It didn't always happen that way. It wasn't always that way.
So I'm just wondering, is like within like the places that have had the riots, so does that mean the mafia have to give back the protection money?
Well, first of all, where I live, the mafia used to have a big influence. It does not have a big influence anymore here.
Okay.
The mafia really hasn't needed a single thing since mid-90s.
They go legit, did they?
No, they just kind of got flooded out because they all did their own stupid things.
Yeah.
Whoever was left around here did their own stupid things to wash themselves out of here.
Fuck their own shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit in their own backyard.
Yeah, you don't shit where you eat, right?
Yeah.
And
Idiots.
a lot of these people did that, so they kind of got flushed out of here. There's like remnants. I'm not gonna lie. There's like little hangers on of what little is left of that sort of influence around here. But it don't mean dick.
Nah. They got no real influence, but they're the memory of what they once were.
It's like all right, the show Happy Days. It's like the Fonz trying to cling on to. The Fonz is a 35-year-old guy hanging out with a bunch of high school kids.
Yeah.
When you really think about that show, it's the Fonz. He's a 35-year-old hanging out with a bunch of high school kids, and he's reliving his past high school glory.
It is a little bit sad, really.
It's kind of like that with these. I don't even know if I could call them mafia guys. They were more like hangers on, like wannabes. Like
The guys that hung out with the mafia guys because they wanted to be part of the crowd.
Yeah, and then they try to say they're mafia guys.
Yeah, but they're not. They're not even close.
They're
barely mafia adjacent.
I think they would. I think that's as far as you could go. Say mafia adjacent. I think that's as far as you could actually say. Yes.
Yeah. So they knew somebody once upon a time, a long time ago.
Yeah, they delivered a guy they delivered a guy a sandwich once, and then all of a sudden they thought they were like the fucking capo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those types of guys.
You worked at a place across the road from where they used to hang out.
You sold him a lotto ticket. You're now in the family.
Did the lotto ticket win? No. Oh.
All right, you're not in the family.
Yeah.
If that lotto ticket don't win, you're definitely not in the family.
Definitely not.
A mafia guy got killed across the street from my house once. Well, I guess I left out that detail. A mafia guy got killed by another mafia guy.
Got whacked. I believe it's
whacked. He got whacked. He slept with the fishes.
Yeah. Hang on. Doesn't sleep with the fishes is like the concrete boots?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, you know, if someone's dead, you know, I sleep with the fishes, see? Like if you go into the 1940s gangster style talk.
I thought that like sleeping with the fishes was specific to having drowned them in a lake or river.
Sleeping with the fishes, see? But it had nothing to do with, like, no one knew they were involved in the mafia. The two guys that were involved in it, it was an argument at a doctor's office or some shit like that.
Jesus.
And one dude gets out of the car and shoots the dude in the chest. And then next thing you know, this guy realized that this dude was way more higher ranking in the pecking order. So this dude fled, and they caught him in a hotel somewhere.
Okay.
But this dude actually had the guy who got killed had connections to multiple families. He wasn't just part of one family, he had connections to multiple families.
He done fucked up, eh?
Oh, he done did.
Done did it.
It's like he should have fucking held his mafia handbook and see who to shoot, who not to shoot. It's like,
yeah, you feel like you should have like
mafia Facebook. There should be like mafia Facebook.
I was gonna say mafia decoder ring, but mafia Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
Mafia teledex.
If he was on mafia Facebook, he didn't know not to do that.
Yeah.
Mafia MySpace. I guess back then around would have been Mafia MySpace.
The Wookiee supremacy. It's the pinheads throwing pebbles at your window at 3 a.m. with someone's TV under their arm.
What?
I think that's he's saying he slung a bit of dope in his day,
Oh,
and he's saying that like somebody trying to wake you up at 3 in the morning. I assume he's saying that someone at 3 in the morning trying to swap somebody's stolen TV.
oh, okay. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I've thrown rocks at people's windows to try and buy weed off them late at night. So, yeah.
Yeah, but did you have someone's stolen TV under your arm in the process? Like he didn't
No,
even turn up the cash.
no. I know someone who used to steal from his family. He used to crawl into his house every night and steal a different piece of shit from his family.
That's what's up.
But yeah. But, gonna end this now. It's at 2:25. I said I was gonna end this over an hour ago. Jesus fucking H.
Yeah. Hey man, if
But,
you
I'm gonna do this mystery day during the beginning of the week and always on Friday. I mean Saturday midnight.
Saturday
Midnight fatality.
sounds good.
Anyone who wants to come through can always come through. TWTG content. I won't say either of the other names, but thanks for being here as always.
That's always fun, man.
And
Thanks for having me on the show.
yeah, of course, bro. Wookie, Random Brad, Death by Saber coming through. Stony One, LDG, Sentinel, and you again in the chat, TWTG.
Thank you.
All right. Later, folks.
Good night.